listening to Earth Studio Radio. And we're going, let's see, into uh, podcasting here. And we got some interesting things that you might be want to know about what's going on. We got, let's see, let's see what we got on deck here today. We got some government news, some state news possibly, and some great music. We're going to talk about the solar eclipse happening April 8th in the U.S. and Vermont. We're also going to talk about a little bit, show you a little bit about Tesla, uh, their new stuff, and their car is making great claims. I'll show you that, and they do have Tesla semi trucks running in Sacramento, California, and we might get to Lee Camp and even space.com. So we'll check all that out. But right now, how about we start with a little bit of music here, and let's see what I can bring up on the unbelievable on the machine, and I will be back shortly.
Standing here at this riverbank, the bridge is out, it's the only place I could cross. No turning back, but there's still a wait. Wondering how much more time this costs. I cannot tell if I'm afraid to give a voice to all of these silent thoughts, but I know that there's still a way. I need your voice to help me when I am lost. This dead is not where you belong. The bridge is gone, but look beyond. We're pressing on, we're moving on. We'll take the long way around. We'll take the long way around. We're pressing on, we're moving on. We'll take the long way around. We'll take the long way around. Some ravines bring you to a halt. Some will stand, that's when you find trails to blaze. Some of them are not your fault. Understand your promised land still awaits. So muster up all your energy. Tie your boots and extinguish all your doubt. Imagine all the discoveries. It's not a detour, it's a scenic route. You can't go wrong when you respond with praise to God in a marching song. So sing along, we're moving on. We'll take the long way around. We'll take the long way around. So sing along, we're moving on. We'll take a long way around. We'll take the long way around. Some things change, that's just life. It's okay to breathe the night. We walk by faith and not by sight. We'll get there late, but still arrive. This dead end's not where you belong. The bridge is gone, so look beyond. We're pressing on, we're pushing on. We'll take the long way around. We'll take the long way around. We'll take the long way around. We're pressing on, we're pushing on. We'll take a long way around. We're pressing on, we're fighting on, and we'll raise the song to the light of dawn. So sing along, we're moving on. We'll take the long way around.
Well, that was Kevin's. Well, Beyond Sonic, we'll take the long way around, is what that was. He's actually someone from Springfield, Vermont here that grew up here, and he's a friend of my son's, and they right now. I think he lives in Georgia, and I'm not sure where that was filmed, whether it was up here in Vermont or in Georgia, but he has a record company, I guess, or an outlet called Beyond Sonic. You can probably find him on YouTube if you check that out. Let me see what else we got here. Oh, gosh. Been an interesting, very, very interesting week. Got a little bit of snow here and there, and this and that. And the state of Vermont, let's see what they got here. I got them. Oh, yes. Let's see what the state of Vermont is doing. I guess this is up on the government website in case you're wondering where this came from. Winterfowl hunters who did not remove their hunting blinds from the water of the state earlier must do so before February 15th on Lake Champlain, or May 15th on inland waters, according to a reminder from the Vermont Fish and Wildlife Department. State law requires removal of the blinds before these deadlines to protect natural areas and to prevent boating accidents after the ice melts. So it says here, remove the blinds and any post that may be below the surface of the ice is important because of the danger they present when boaters are on the water in the spring. The state game warden, Colonel Justin Stedman, said. Stedman says wardens annually record names and addresses of blind owners and will follow up with these inspections. So you can read the entire article here in the archives of Vermont Agency of Natural Resources, or go to the official Vermont government website to see what's going on there. And yes, and yes, that's a. I guess that's a Vermont way, find out what's going on. And let's see what else I got coming up here. Um, if you want to, well, I got government news. Yes, I guess we can go that way. Find out what they're talking about in the federal government here. Yep, White House news. Let's check that out. It says ex-IRS contractor who leaked Trump's tax returns sentenced to 5 years in prison. This is interesting. Charles Littleton, the ex-IRS contractor responsible for leaking former President Trump's tax returns, was sentenced to 5 years in prison on Monday. Judge Anna Reins commended or condemned Little John's actions when handing down the sentence, saying the leak was an intolerable act on our constitutional democracy. The press tells us democracy dies in darkness. It also dies in lawlessness. The judge said, these are numerous laws, lawful means of to bring things to light. Trump was under no obligation to expose his returns. People could vote for someone else. They could run against him. And I guess you can read that and more in the archives of White House News. And check that out. Well, let me see. I got some music I can air here. If I can bring that up. This is a group that I was into. They do the festivals in and around unbelievable. Yes. The area here, I follow a lot of them. Well, at times I do follow a lot of them. This group in particular was very interesting. So let's see if I can bring this up. You can listen to it too. Okay. Let's do that. This is RF. You listen to RF Studio Radio, and that was a Dopapod with Building a Time Machine, Part 1. One of my favorite festival groups of that's been happening in and around the area. And you can catch them in the spring, or if you want to travel and go somewhere, you can probably catch them. No problem. And let's see. I got some more music on deck, probably somewhere. Or what else can I do today? We can check out the solar eclipse. What's going on? Coming up here April 8th. I can share that with you. There we go. And I'll tell you all about this. This is coming up here April 8th. It's going to be pretty much a total eclipse. If you look at the map I have on deck here, you can see it going through the United States all the way up through Maine. I had a friend in Maine who told me about it. He's right inside the that's the total eclipse inside, and outside is partial eclipses. So that's how far that's going. We also have Vermont. It's going to be going through Vermont here. If I can bring that up, let me see how I can do that. I can go back here and I can go Vermont. So if you're in any one of these areas in Vermont, you can find out what's going on here. Let me get to Vermont. Here we go. Through these counties. I don't know if I can make this any bigger, but it's going to be Montpelier area. Springfield, not quite in the path. It's a little off to the side, but Montpelier, I think Bear is a little bit out. So a little north from Montpelier going up, you'll be able to experience a total eclipse on, let me see if I have the time on that, on those things. It's going to be running through Vermont about 3:20 in the afternoon. So check all that out. That'd be pretty incredible. Let's see what's going on there. And yeah, sure. Gosh, and let's see. What else are we doing here? Well, maybe I can bring up what Tesla's been doing. First, let's listen to some music. I think I have some music on deck I can bring up. Yeah. If I can find my list of music. And I don't know why I like this song, but I kind of like this song. It's totally, to me, this song is totally political. And yes. Better still, rather than bring that up, why don't I bring one of my songs up here? I do that occasionally. We'll listen to that. High-tech automated lifestyles changing every day, teaching us to keep up with the growing world's concern. With one push of a button, we can all be put on hold while the free world's waiting for us to get back home. There's always a need for change. There's always a need for reform. There's always a need for goodness. There's always a need for love. Revival. 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 Things are gonna change. I hear it every day. Is it for the good of all or another ethnic way? The simple life don't seem so simple in a world that's so diverse, made so complicated because it's so coerced. There's always a need for change. There's always a need for reform. There's always a need for goodness. There's always a need for love. Revival. 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 What's this misunderstanding when we want it all before? Don't tell me you forgot the way. It's right there at the door. It's not too hard to let go. Dreams taken by chance. It wasn't made to last forever. Illusions never last. There's always a need for change. There's always a need for reform. There's always a need for goodness. There's always a need for love. Revival. 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 There is a plan. Faith and religion. The truth and absolute. Explanation and answer. Rescue or redemption. Salvation and liberation. A guarantee of promise. And deliverance and transformation. There's always a need for change. There's always a need for reform. There's always a need for goodness. There's always a need for love. Revival. 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 Alrighty. Great. Now that we've done that, let's see what we can get into today. Well, I was talking about Tesla and what Tesla is doing. I mean, they've been into some interesting stuff. I'm not sure if they're totally committed to their electric cars these days because there's a fact that too many people get electric cars in transportation. We can't handle the electric load until something comes up a little better, but they're taking it slow. So, but to really figure out what's going on here, I have something else we can share. I can share, let's see. Oh, uh-huh. How about you want to check out one of Tesla's cars they've been complaining about? Well, yeah, they've been complaining about Tesla's cars lately in the rainstorm. So this is what come up after that. I mean, believe this or not, but there's a Tesla car plowing through the water. I mean, the water's definitely deep. It's unbelievable what's happening here. That's uh, that's just a Tesla vehicle getting through the water these days. I imagine it can be done with an electric vehicle if everything is sealed. I mean, I know we have these mud races and they got the little carburetor stack on the side. So if the water gets too deep, they get they don't go underwater. They can get air from their stack up there, which amazed me back then. but I guess anything is possible in the future. Also, Tesla has been working with Pepsi Cola in um, bringing up the future of transportation. They have some Tesla electric semi trucks that are capable of going a long distance, and they don't take too long to charge. Let's listen to a little bit of that.
PepsiCo's Tesla Semi covers 1,600 miles in under 48 hours in California. Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Thank you for subscribing and supporting EV's Queen. If you already haven't, hit that subscribe button. Your support would mean the world to us. Check out our other videos. The Tesla Semi is proving to be a workhorse in the real world, as per data released by the North American Council for Freight Efficiencies, NACF Run on Less program. It's the first independent real-world test of the Semi, and the range and charging figures appear encouraging. We reported last week how the electric trucks covered over 300 miles on a single charge with an unspecified amount of payload. It now turns out that one of PepsiCo's 3 Tesla Semis participating in the program covered 1,600 miles in under 48 hours with 3 full charges and 2 brief range-extending charging stops. The Semi conducted 9 deliveries in that time frame, covering 794 miles on day 2 and 806 miles on day 3 around California. It drove at highway speeds for roughly 90% of the distance. NACF has verified that these are fairly fully loaded when they leave and stay fairly loaded, said NACF's director Mike Roeth. NACF's principal of carbon-free transportation, Dave Mullaney, confirmed that these are beverage trucks, without chips and rarely running empty. Due to the heft of the battery, they lose some payload capacity compared to diesel trucks, but the figure isn't significant, Roeth added. He lost payload capacity is between 2,200 to 4,400 pounds, including the extra 2,000-pound allowance that EVs get, guessed Mullaney. Note that the payload figures are speculative, and there's no official data on the exact load the semis are carrying. Although, it's clear that they're not running empty. Fast charging speeds have been a key enabler of this performance, indicated Mullaney. Tesla's 750 kilowatt megachargers allow 5 to 80% state of charge, SOC, in just an hour. As per Geotab's Day 2 data for the Semi, it took 55 minutes for the truck to charge from 18 to 80%. High-powered charging isn't only tough on the battery, it is also tough on the grid. I hope all the electric utilities out there notice this, because this is a look into the future for their business, Mullaney added. On a separate occasion earlier this year, PepsiCo's electrification program manager Dejan Antunovic said that the Semi's operational efficiency was 1.7 kilowatt-hour per mile. Thanks for watching.
Uber and Lyft agree to pay a combined $328 million for withholding money from drivers. And basically, they 290 million, Lyft 38 million, the New York Attorney General. The money will be distributed to cheated drivers who will get back pay along with mandatory paid sick and other benefits, the historic agreements, etc. To get into the nitty-gritty of it, basically on these apps, Uber and Lyft were docking there were taxes and fees that were being taken out of the driver's pay rather than either Uber and Lyft should be paying it or the passengers should be paying it. Both of those things are legal, but stealing them from the drivers is not legal, not an option. And this, yeah, it's a big win, for these drivers and against these companies. I will say that this is the norm. This is how companies behave in a capitalist system: is they will steal all that they can steal, and occasionally they're told to give back a little bit of it.
What was the? It was like several years ago where somebody had done the math and basically said, like, if you drive for Lyft or Uber, you're actually losing money as opposed to making money.
That was I love that study. It was an MIT study, and it found that a large percentage of Uber drivers and Lyft drivers are actually losing money when you account for the damage long term done to their car. So if you take the cost of the car
and gas and stuff too,
you have to pay for gas, all that stuff. But yeah, when you account for all those things, a certain percentage, it might have been like 15% or something, are actually losing money as they drive. But then there's like 60% who are making sub minimum wage. I mean, they're making, if you account for the damage to the car and everything, they're making like $5 an hour. And they think that they're making far more than that. And, there may be some Lyft drivers watching this right now who say, I make good money. There are a few that do it in a certain way that make money, or are really good at chatting with people and getting big tips, whatever. But the point is, the vast majority of these people have been gamed by these big tech companies, and that is going on in multiple sectors. I think it's done to Amazon workers in some regards. It's done to so many workers where they basically are tricked into working more than they think. Another thing that's done via these apps is they'll tell the driver, and I've never used one, so I don't know the details of it, but they'll tell the driver, if you do 5 more rides today, then that 5th ride will pay out more or whatever. So the guy's like, well, I just got to get through these 5 rides. And of course, Lyft has some kind of algorithm to find out they're not actually paying the guy a lot of money, like, ever.
Yeah. And this, I mean, I think we mentioned this before, like this idea of using your own gear or what have you is becoming far more widespread. Like,
Amazon deliveries now.
Right. Like we saw a guy in our own neighborhood, like, pull up in a car and then deliver a package. And I was like, what was that?
Out of his car. Yeah.
Like, did his truck break down, or they're legit just using their own cars now?
There's no truck. Yeah. So we're not going to give you a truck. We're not going to give you gas. We're just going to tell you to go deliver this. And
here's a vest that says Amazon on it. And you can scribble "help me" on it with a Sharpie if you can afford it.
And if they send you to rough neighborhoods, they're not giving you a bulletproof vest either.
Unbelievable. There's some interesting points there, where just not only is it a tough economic system to keep up with, you have to fight, you have to be really smart, you have to make more plays than you're given to get over. I mean, that's how to look at it. I mean, when you're young, you can be abused. You get a little older, you get a little tougher, but they get a little tougher. And there's some interesting points there. So, if anything, you want to put some input into it, you can send me an email at bizadventures@martel.net, and or message me on Facebook if you watch this here, and let me know what's on your mind. And great, things will go great. Anyways, we're going to be signing off for today. Hope you all have a great day, and we'll be back again sometime